It says we're live. There we go. Alright, everybody, welcome to an episode of Rescued Reviews. Sorry we've taken a couple weeks off and just dealing with PMTA stuff and, wanted to share the love with some of the other guys that have shows on the exact same day, same time. So we're going to be doing every other week. But want to say hi, hello, welcome. And down there, you got Mr. Tristan. Mr. Tristan is one of the
I'm here.
big people from the UVA. And so we wanted to have him on so that way we can all get pumped and excited for the big rally coming up in DC. How you doing, bud?
I'm hanging in there.
Oh, yeah. And y'all know Kelly.
Oh,
Yeah.
My
she'd
bad.
be down there, wouldn't she?
No, I'm over.
Kelly.
She's next to me.
Oh, it's on your side. See, I never really understood how Zoom orientates things. And so everybody always points somewhere else, and I was always so confused. So I guess everybody's orientation is always different. I just learned that now. Isn't that sad?
It's really weird. You can lock it in and you can drag and move people around, but
I did not know that.
it's weird.
So I can always put Sherman on the bottom. Fantastic.
Sherman's the bottom bitch.
No, definitely not.
No, I know, but
That's why I'm doing it.
So if everyone can see how the screen looks a little bit weird today, how there's a lot of banners and there's pictures going on the side, those are pictures from last year's rally. And they're just going to be on a loop throughout the whole thing. So feel free to stare at those once in a while. And, we're trying to get you pumped for the next rally. It's going to be a great time.
yep, September 5th, guys.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a damn good time. I mean, last time was probably one of the most, actually, I'm going to say next to my wedding, probably one of the best moments of my life.
Yeah.
As crazy as that is to say. I mean,
Yeah, it was a great time.
that was epic.
I mean,
We made all the major news that we needed to. And it got people that needed to be at the table a seat with Trump, something that they didn't have prior to that. Most people don't even realize we were looking death in the face prior to that.
Yeah.
He was just going to ban us and call it a day because he was told to. And then once he saw that was going to make a lot of people angry and then heard the science behind it, he changed his mind, which is something we're going to have to do again, remind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need everyone there. If you can't go, there's a link down in the description to the UVA's website. And feel free to donate so you can help people get there or help pay for masks and hand sanitizers and all that stuff.
Like last year, y'all did buses. Are y'all going to be doing that again this year?
We are. Buses have been a little tough because of the situation.
Yeah.
But I know there's, we're still, organizing some. Because, if we can't fill it, it's not really smart to send a bus out for, if 10 people are going, when you could easily just say, hey, here's money, rent a van,
Yeah.
These buses, they're not cheap,
No.
especially the long distance travel. Like when you want to, people got to go to the bathroom. Okay. Got to have that there. It's not cheap. I'm trying to do it, as cost effective as possible, which is, really at the end of the day, all you really can do when you're doing one of these things is try to spend it in the best possible way. Because it's not your money to spend. You know what I mean? So you have to be smart with it.
Yeah.
And do things for free when you can. It's not easy right now.
No.
So,
It's not.
yeah.
But we've had a lot of really good guys step up to help out. Surprisingly, when we were like, we're gonna put this together and we're gonna fundraise for it, we thought this was going to be an uphill struggle. We said we're gonna do it again right near the PTMA deadline. Just like that, people stepped up. Blew my mind. Blows my mind when this community comes together like that. Because everybody's always at each other's throats, and then one day they're like, all right, we'll do that later. Let's put this fire out real quick.
Yeah, I mean, one of the fundraisers that we did when we first started making it was we did a fundraiser for a little girl who had brain cancer, and everybody stepped up.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And you'd think that in this age of, extreme political divisiveness, that everybody be too busy trying to annihilate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time something needs to happen, this community comes together. I've been trying to understand it ever since I got involved with it. I gave up on that. I just kind of come to expect people to do the right thing. And I was told by a wise person once that you shouldn't expect out of others what you expect out of yourself.
No.
It's wise words, but I don't think it's necessarily, what's the word I'm looking here for? I guess an over expectation to expect people to be decent, to see that, everybody's going to die if you don't do something.
Just be a good human is all anyone can ask for.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's not. It's actually, personally, I find it to be easy, harder to be evil.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work to be angry. It takes less work to just go, I don't care.
So, who can we expect to see speaking at the rally?
Well, we got a list of 30 speakers that is currently growing. I think we're looking for 3 or 4 more. We added a few in the other day. I know that Greg Connolly's coming, Dimitri's coming, Phil is coming, Kara is coming. There's a lot. Actually, hold on. I got one better. So this is why I do chats, because then I have a list for reasons like this. Because I am terrible with names. I'm a big face person. Names, I'm the worst. I remember people that can ruin my life, like the folks over at NPS. I know all of them. I know them all. Let me see here.
Just so everyone knows, I am aware that there are 2 live streams going right now for some weird reason.
You too, right? See?
Yeah.
See?
I'm watching both chats. So
we have 2 live streams going?
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not even worried about it because I'm watching both chats. So if you have questions for Tristan about the rally, please comment them and I will do my best to relay the message.
Here's the list.
YouTube has me screwed up today, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's not you. It did the same thing to me.
We're not going to mess with it because we don't need any serious dangle clacks like we had for Ryan's show. So, yes, I'm aware that there are 2 streams going. It don't matter because that's just twice of a reason to watch the show.
Are they both called Rescue to Reviews Pep Rally with UVA?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm not even worried about it. We'll just roll with it. I got both chats going, so if there's a question, I can relay it.
I'm not sure how it splits the stream like that. It's one stream key to the same platform in 2 different locations. I don't get that.
Yeah.
It's weird, but...
It's super weird, especially when it's streaming without any kind of buffering on both ends. That's...
Well, like earlier, it was doing, like, when I was trying to set it up, it kept trying to launch me into lives immediately. It wouldn't go through the setup. So there's 3 lives for today. One of them's like 30 seconds, the other one's like 3 minutes, and it's...
Okay, so we have a couple questions already.
Oh, shoot.
Tim, who is an advocate for liberty, said that he is up for anything, including speaking, if you need more. And... John, who goes by Light Bear, said, when I checked on parking, it said there was no parking around the site. Is that correct?
Well, that's the thing. The way that the NPS does it, there is and there isn't. There's parking spots, but there is, like, if you wanted to park on Constitution Avenue, it's metered and it's like first come, first serve. But there are lots, but it's a walk. So if you were planning on bringing equipment, like things to carry with you, like if you had a heavy backpack and you didn't want to walk a long distance carrying it, be there a little early, be prepared to hang out for a bit. As far as, like what's the price on parking? I'm not sure, because with the season being, being Labor Day weekend and people coming in to sightsee, it's anybody's game there. There's no way to reserve it. We thought of that. It just can't be done. It's going to be a first come, first serve, just like if you're going to any other protest, unfortunately. Like, for example, if it was in New York, good luck with that, But there is lots around. You'll be all right, because we found parking no problem last time.
Yeah, I think we parked
like a mile away.
Yeah, and with COVID and DC not really allowing people to just go into any restaurant or bar or whatever else you want, it's gonna be should be pretty easy. Yeah. Should be. I don't foresee it being a problem.
I mean, we'll just have to roll with it and get there early enough to where you can take a walk, and if you need to stop to have a break for whatever reason, make sure
you
have
plenty
of time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's gonna be warm, and I know I'm understating that when I say warm, but it's the Capitol's a sight to see. Every ounce of the architecture is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So even if you got to go for a walk, it's not a walk wasted.
No. My favorite part of the rally last year was we went to the Lincoln Memorial. And I remember standing at the bottom of the steps, and I looked at Nick and said, I can't do those steps. I'll just wait down here for you guys. I can't do that.
There's a lot of steps.
And
People underestimate it.
He went, give it a shot. Just give it a shot. And I made it up all those steps. And had it been 5-6 years ago when I was a smoker, I wouldn't have even attempted it.
No, I wouldn't either.
I got to the top of the steps. I almost cried because it was something that I had never thought I'd be able to do. I always just kind of went, yeah, steps are just not my thing.
Aren't those moments of triumph beautiful?
Yeah.
Things you never thought you'd do.
Yeah. Big Red Vapor Channel says, are there any pet restrictions?
See, that's the thing. We were asked that last time, and I looked into it. I'm gonna say no, but the problem is that you also want to keep in mind that it's going to be crowded. So the animal's not 100% super people friendly.
Yeah, obviously. Make sure it's people friendly. Make sure you have enough bags to clean up waste. And you're going to be carrying the waste. It's not like there's going to be proper disposal areas for it. So
exactly. And you got to also keep in mind too that the NPS takes their grounds like really serious. Like for example, one of the questions they asked us, hey, are you guys putting up that tent again? Yeah. How is it being secured? Is it being secured by stakes in the ground? No. Why? Okay, good. They weren't having that either. They want everything on like its own individual little platform and tray and all kinds of stuff. It's nuts. The chairs were actually even questionable last time.
I would even suggest if you do bring a pet, make sure that it's on a leash. Make sure you have a proper license for it. Make sure that the license is visible and not just a microchip, because they might ask to see that. Make sure you're up to date on all your shots, and you keep the records with you just in case, because you never know. They have the right to say, is your dog up to date on its shots?
Yep. Also, you want to keep in mind too, on a personal note with the identification, make sure you keep your driver's license on you so you can identify yourself, because we are, after all, in NPS's and Park Police's house, and they have every right to stop, ask questions, especially when you're in a large gathering of people if they think you're a little on the sus side. So
and that
just
includes
be prepared.
Your bags and your purses. So do not put anything in there that will get you in trouble.
Because they'll find it. They're good at that.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're looking to cause a problem. They just want to make sure the area is safe for everybody else, which is completely understandable and logical.
Yeah.
Given, the world.
Any restrictions for people coming in from other states?
That's the thing that we were talking about before. So if you are coming into DC and you're not staying, you're good, because you're going on national park property. They're not doing that. They just ask that people obey social distancing, wear masks and, hand sanitize, for when it's obviously time, But outside of that, just stay out of DC when you're staying. That's why we recommend everybody stays in Virginia, and you'll be fine. When it comes to personal state restrictions, that's completely up to you. So if your state says, hey, you go here, you have to quarantine for 14 days, you got to make that call. That's completely up to you.
Yeah. Stephen Sard said that DC has doggy do-way stations on most sidewalks and parks. So there is that.
There you go. So now you don't have to carry it with you. Just make sure it makes it there. I want to have a repeat like we did last time. We were in, we set up, we did our thing, we were loud as hell, we left, and we were like ghosts.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell there was a protest. Couldn't even tell.
Prepared to carry it, whatever it is that you have, you're carrying. Do not set any bags down.
Yes, thank you. You can't, because our own personal stuff, even though it was like 2 feet from us, they wanted us with it. And I normally take my backpack full of stuff wherever I go. I'm a walking vape shop. Nope, didn't bring it. Don't do it. If you don't need to, don't. Because you also have to remember, too, you're only going to be there for 4 hours, so plan ahead. Go to the bathroom ahead of time. Yeah. If you're going to bring a bottle of water, do so, but bring one long enough to last you for 4 hours.
Yep.
Because, it's one of those events where, you got to keep in mind it is going to be warm, and we are out in the middle of an open field, so the sun is going to be there. So light colors would also probably be a plus. Not going to work out too well for me, though.
Yeah,
I don't do that. I don't do that. So just come prepared. Like last time, those of you that were there know that I was literally freezing to death for reasons other than my own hubris. There was none. That was it. I was like, I'll be fine. I wasn't fine.
Yeah.
So it's going to be warm. Plan for that.
Check
Sunscreen.
out the weather a couple days ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you pack the appropriate clothes. If you have to bring an extra coat and tie it around your waist, then go for it. But
I don't think you're going to need that. It's going to be a warm boy.
Yeah.
Actually, they specified that. They said it's going to be warm. You guys know that, right? Yes. And they said, you guys have a weather preparedness plan. That one they threw us a curveball on the meeting today. Sherwin and I were like, what?
Okay,
what do you mean?
Bring sunscreen.
Yes, I can't stress that enough. For those of you that are like me,
it does include sunscreen, guys.
I lobster. I'm going to be literally wearing SPF 1000.
Yeah.
I'm not going out like that. No. But other than that, outside of that, it should be just like last time. Any of the things that were the do's and don'ts last time are the same do's and don'ts now. If you see something weird, don't try to handle it yourself. Let the marshals handle it. That's why they're there. We'll be wearing these really bright neon-colored vests. And just about all of them, with a few exceptions, are going to be some pretty big boys, so don't worry. Let them know. They'll take care of it. They'll alert NPS. They'll do all the stuff. You don't got to worry about nothing.
What about people who want to attend who are 18?
That's the thing. That is a very, very gray area. I'm not going to get involved in it. All I'm going to say is if you're going to come and do your thing, don't vape in public and get us all yelled at by the press. That'd be great. And that actually goes for any vapor, actually, to be honest with you. While we're on that topic, don't blow clouds so the cameras can see you. They're not your friend, period. So if you're going to go there, try to be mindful that it's an optics thing. So if you are 18 and you're going, fine. If you're going to bring your kid because you're alive today to take care of your child because of vaping, so be it. Just be smart,
But that's a hard thing for people to do nowadays.
I know. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've got some really, really, really intelligent questions the last few weeks. I mean, real big brain stuff. And I went, on all of them, no. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I want everyone to come. If you have to bring your kids, bring your kids. If you have to, bring family members, that's great. But be prepared.
Mm-hmm. And be smart.
There's not porta potties or anything. You're walking a good ways.
We tried that.
Yeah.
They wanted special flooring down.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. They take pride.
I couldn't get an answer as to what. They were like, well, it has to be like this. And they were describing it. And the details of the description were great. It was like a Stephen King novel when he's describing the texture of a wall. And it's like 3 paragraphs of just, unnecessary detail. But they couldn't give me a specific place to get it.
What kind of
that was the end of the porta potties.
What kind of flooring are they talking about?
I don't know. That has been the discussion of every single one of these things post-thing. We go, well, why didn't we do the porta potties again? Oh, the flooring. Yeah.
Nick's going to shop for this flooring now. He's
you can't. Because here's where it got weird, right? And this is why it's very difficult to plan one of these things. And it's not NPS's fault in any way. They've been amazing. They can't tell you where to get something because they're playing favorites, and the government can't do that. Because they're a federal agency. Yeah. So they have a requirement, which is totally reasonable. But what they're asking for is like finding a needle in a haystack. So we just said, you know what? Probably not going to do that. Sorry. As much as I would have thoroughly loved to hide in one of those porta potties with how cold I was, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But they're very meticulous with everything. So like when we go there, all our T's have been crossed and our I's have been dotted because they ask a lot of questions.
Do you have the list up of the speakers still?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do.
Who we get?
This is where we at today. Let me get back in there. Give me 1 second. So we've got Akil Pamar, Alex Clark from CASAA, Alan Davis, my boy, Amanda Wheeler, Becky Brenner. I know I'm going to butcher this, and I'm sorry. Debelak. And let me see, because somebody decided to message me and close that out on me, of course. Let's see here. Cindy Schmidt, Debbie Weinmeiser, Dieter Sellers, Dimitri, Greg Troutman, Greg Connolly, Guy Bentley, James Jarvis, John Glauser, Kara Tibbetts, Kyle Adolph, Lindsay Stroud, Mark Anton, Matt Culley, Matt Elliott's going to be there, Matthew Salter, Megan Geary Blafkin. I think Michelle Mitten was going to go, but I think she was one of the people that actually had to stay. I'm pretty sure she did. Paul Blair, Phil Basardo, Robin Barksky, Shane Saturn Simpson, Tony Abood, and William Bumgardner Jr. And of course myself.
Awesome.
Nice.
So it's a pretty extensive list, but we're always adding to it because we want to make sure we have, last minute, I can't make it. All right, you're up, chief.
Yep.
Plan B. We did that last time and it was smart because we ended up with, I don't know how, spare time.
Yeah.
Some people are like, all right, I spoke my piece, I'm done. Well, you needed to stay up there for 2 minutes. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it's good, and with the reason, the other thing too is that, when I tell people what a lot of is entailed with public speaking at one of these, they go, you know what? I'm good. Because they underestimate how many people were there. I'm like, dude, there's going to be a lot of people. You sure you're up for this? I don't want you to sign up for it and panic at the last minute. I public speak all the time. In front of 3,500 people? There was that many? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. You don't want somebody going up there and having a nervous breakdown either. Because that can happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen dudes go out to sing with a band and have a freak out. Can't do it. Look at Maynard from Tool. Case in point. Prime example. I highly doubt anybody's going to strip into their underwear and turn around and read from a book.
I hope not.
I mean, I'd laugh, but I'd also be pretty pissed.
Right. I mean, it would be entertaining, but.
I would remember that to the day I die. The person would be a legend.
Now,
Don't do that.
Are you expecting the same? Should we be expecting the same turnout that we had last year? Because I
See,
know
that's the
COVID
thing.
has a lot of people scared.
It does. But you know what? It's also motivated a lot more people because now they're mad that they were told that they can't go somewhere. Now they're going because they can,
Mm-hmm.
So it could go any way. And, you don't want to have too many. And then we look like reckless people who don't care about public health while claiming public health. And then at the same time, you don't want to have too little to where it doesn't matter. So I would rather have more and too many than not enough.
And we can all spread out and we can all keep a proper distance from each other and
make the crowd look bigger anyway. Social distancing kind of gotta exactly. So we win either way. Doesn't matter, And when you got 1,500 people spread out 6 feet apart, everybody, we gonna take over that whole thing.
Yeah. And Tim even said, make sure that when you're blowing your clouds, if you're vaping, vape into your shirt, vape down, not into the air, because especially with the COVID going on, it's more noticeable,
Yep. And also, if you can't, because, you breathe a 12-foot cloud like I do, just blow it down. Attempt it,
Yeah.
Attempt it. Make it look like you're making an honest attempt to be respectful of those around you, because it's an optics thing.
Yeah.
It's literally all it is.
I mean,
it's not
honestly,
somebody trying to lord her over somebody else's, dealings. It's, we want to look a particular way for a reason.
If you look at the pictures from the last rally, there was a small haze, but if you consider how many people were there and all of them are vapors, it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been.
No, but at the same time, on the other hand, the NPS actually said, and a reporter said the same thing, which I thought was hysterical that we heard it from 2 places, that this was the most professional, motivated, and best-smelling rally they've ever seen.
There you go.
I said, yeah. And they were like, no, really? That was great. Because we used to, other rallies which are less organized and less lively and angry.
And people normally smell like a porta potty.
Exactly. We didn't have that problem, which was great.
And
you did. You couldn't tell.
Tim wants to know, what are the signs going to say this time? And will you have them available for people?
Yes. Still working on the exact verbiage. We're still arguing with that. I think we're going to be sending them out to print in a few days, and we'll be posting them up.
Can people bring their own signs?
Of course. However, there are restrictions on signs. You can't have them on sticks, for example. It's a big no-no. They were really pissed about that. And I was super sad when I had to tell these folks that brought in this lovely banner. It was lovely with all these handwritten testimonials, and I'd tell them no. It was huge. Like, it was massive. I'm talking, this thing must have gone like 40 feet.
Wow.
Because NPS couldn't see, and Secret Service can't see into the crowd, so it's like a blind, and they weren't having it. Yep.
Okay.
So
They were setting it up, and I was like, let me stop you before you do that and make sure that's okay. And it wasn't. I said, see? They're like, well, what do we do with it? I was like, we're going to have to figure that out because I don't know.
Yeah.
So what would be the maximum size for a sign that you would recommend somebody to bring?
Just like the signs we did last time. I can't remember the size. But, I mean, it's not that there's a specific size. It's just that you got to think about security of other things when you're there. Like if you think that it's something that's going to cause a problem, go smaller. You know, there's no one set specific size, but this thing was huge. I think, you know what I mean? I could see that, you know, thinking from the security standpoint, it's a sniper's blind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just be smart. There were some bigger signs that were there, like the one I have behind me, and they were cool with that. It just can't be one that, you know, obscures a very large portion of the ellipse because it's so big.
Yeah.
They were not pleased about that. They were like, you said it would be a certain blah blah. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, come on. Like, I can't control that. I could stop it. I can't dictate what people do, to a degree. You know.
Mm-hmm. And also, we were talking about this before the stream. Do not bring anything that you're going to pass out.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were going to shut us down. I think somebody did it once. We made an announcement. Somebody did it again. NPS got mega pissed. I mean, she was mad. And it said, listen, it's not going to happen again. I got on the radio. I said, if you see anybody passing anything out, ask them to leave immediately, because they were going to shut us down. Like, I cannot stress how serious they are. I can't. Yeah. She was so upset. And not just because of the fact that they were giving something out for free, but an adult product on federal property for free.
Yeah. Big Red says, so I can bring my sign from last time that's got a bunch of signatures from the people who were there at the last rally. I want to fill the other side with signatures.
That should be fine.
As long as it's not ridiculously big and not might obscure anything, you should be okay. As long as it doesn't have a sign or a stake or something on it. Christina says her favorite sign from last time was "Less killing tastes great."
Yes.
My favorite was "Vaping kills like Epstein killed himself."
I saw that one and I lost it. I lost it. They were like, you know, that's not a professional sign. I was like, that is a hilarious sign, and people will look at that.
People are going to remember that. Like,
yeah. People walking by will like, man, that sign was great. Yeah, that was awesome. You know, they'll remember that, and they'll be like, oh, this is a hot button issue still. Oh, I'm not happy about that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's okay. You know, jokes are funny, but you know, that was as close to tasteless as I would go. And I'm not saying it's tasteless, but you know what I'm saying.
It was fun.
Edgy. I guess we'll call it edgy.
Yeah. So, God, what about you, Nick? What questions do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no questions.
I said Nick.
Oh, you.
Me?
You.
I'm always put on the hot seat.
What?
I said I'm always put on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we talked about all the issues that I had. I mean, and another thing to remember is anything that can be considered a weapon, even if it's just like an everyday thing, like a small little pocket knife or a box cutter, don't bring it. Leave it at home. Leave it in your car. Because, like everybody's saying, it is federal property.
Yo, they don't play. I cannot stress that enough. Everybody's like, yeah. We got crazy cops. No.
When in doubt, don't bring it.
Let me put it this way. So there was a person riding by on a bike that was kind of like, I guess, a homemade rickshaw kind of thing. And NPS chased him down the street.
Wow.
For a rickshaw. They're not playing. She said, get that off my street. He's like, okay, I won't tell you again. We didn't see that guy again. See, if the locals know not to play and to leave when they say leave, I would do the same.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna have the food carts again.
That would be lit. I'd be so happy.
Those food carts are so good.
Because I want to save myself for a restaurant, but I don't think that's happening this time. So
no glass.
Food cart.
If you are a recreational or medicinal user, do not bring that there because that is federal property.
Mm-hmm.
Even in vape form.
Mm-hmm. They will get you for that. It's legal in the city, not legal on property. That's, yet again, going back to the COVID thing. National Park Services, City of DC, two totally different entities, has more power. Doesn't care what these guys want.
Yeah.
Can't stress that enough.
So let's talk about some of the positives that happened because of these rallies.
Oh yeah.
You said the last time we got into some seats that we could actually have conversations with the higher ups.
Yes. Yeah. They said that they were banning flavors. That's it. He called off the meeting. We were screwed. Flavors were getting banned. Maybe they'll leave menthol to make us happy, and that's where we were at. 2 days after the rally, we have a roundtable meeting with all the advocates and Mitt Romney and Trump. So, yeah, that rally changed the fate of our industry. Like, people don't understand. Like, you would not be buying liquid today at all. Or, I mean, it would be banned federally. We were done.
Yeah.
Just like that. He was going to pull the plug on us. But then that happened. He flew over us, and that was the end of that.
I wonder if we're going to get another flyover.
I think we might. It's possible.
What are we hoping for the outcome of this rally? I know what I want to happen, but what's the main goal behind this rally?
No PTMA.
See, there's a lot of arguments between, like the people that have been doing it a long time and us and other folks. And see, the way I look at it is the one that sits on, the board here. I want to see the tobacco taken out of the authority of the FDA, period. Why are they doing that? We have, ATF. We have an organization that's already supposed to be regulating that. So why is the FDA getting involved again? Oh, that's right, Congress. Well, we want to see Trump fix that. Now, there's a lot of split on whether or not he can do that, but given recent things, yeah, he can. The president's been set and held up in court. So we want to ask for that. Well, Sherwin says it's the ask. I say I make demands. I don't ask. I say do this now.
I honestly, I would love for them to say, you know what, vapor is not a tobacco product. It's its own thing. And the PMTA is overreach, and let these people live their lives because they're living now.
Now, here's the thing. I don't have the problem with the industry being regulated.
No,
Every industry is regulated. Everything is regulated. Even, nuclear power regulates itself, the Nuclear Energy Commission, right? We could do that, but everybody's always fighting to be the person in charge. Somebody has to do it, or we go back to what things were. And by what things were, I mean dumpster mixing.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, or even we did do a decent job at self-regulation.
I know. We sure as hell did. Yes, we did. But, with that being said, though, it's all going to go to where does the envelope stop? And who's the one to say that? And is it benefiting them personally? Or, just business-wise or financially? Who's to say? And who's going to be the purveyor of that?
Yeah.
It's a very tough call to make. You got people trying to make certifications where it only ends up where like 10 of them can qualify for it. No, that's not what this was founded on. It was free enterprise.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't want to make that call. I just want to get it out of the hands of the FDA who are trying to exterminate us to appease their vested interests. Outside of that, until I got to burn something down again, I'm out. Go back to taking down scum.
No interest in being in charge or even a secretary. I'm with you. I want to make sure that the right people are in the right spots to do
right. It. They were like, you playing that thing, you should be in there with Trump. I'm like, no, you don't want that. I'm an animal. I don't negotiate. I make demands. You said seasoned people in there. And, nothing for nothing, after watching the exchanges, I feel like that was the right call to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I probably would have told Romney to go fuck himself.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are, saying, oh, well, vapor products are this and vapor products are that. And it blows my mind because there are these 70, 80-year-old men who've never smoked a day in their life and don't use vapor products and have no idea. And they're the ones going, that's bad.
Yep. That's always why I've been a big fan of term limits. I love the phrase term limits. I love the concept of term limits. It's supposed to be a position of public service. When you go into office, you're a public servant.
Yep.
Don't see a lot of public serving going on, do we?
No, just self-serving.
Yeah.
My man took the words right out of my mouth.
And that's why voting is important.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Ramella says, who can make the change to take it out of the FDA's hands?
Trump can, with an executive order.
So
I know there's a lot of arguing with that, and I get it, because that's what politics is. It's all legal arguments until somebody, aka the Supreme Court, goes on and says, it shall be done.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why it's at the White House, because, we could try to go the route of Congress. Congress ain't working for the people right now. Let's be real.
No.
And I'm not getting political when I say this, but I'm using it as an example. Stimulus check, got to go on vacation. Oh, the post office? We can come back for that. They don't work for us. They work for themselves. We did a protest outside of Trump's house, and we're not dead. I'm going to go with what gets results. I think Congress would be a wasted effort. Also, try planning one there with the size of the crowd that we had, with the way we do things. Good luck with that. It's nowhere near as easy as you think. We tried that already. We thought about it. We said, nah, that's the spot. And when it gets results, you do what works.
Yeah.
You know? And if anything about current events shows you anything, he does have the power to do it. Don't let anybody fool you.
Right.
Don't let him do that. And speaking on the power of vote, because that is one of the major themes of the entire rally, I vape, I vote. Listen, the analytics have been done. The math was already done last time. Vapors control the swing states. There's enough of us, okay? If every vapor voted one particular way because somebody said, I will stop this shit, that controls the election. As crazy as that sounds. Think about this. Do y'all remember when Ron Johnson got elected? Do you remember the video of him saying, thank you, vapors, you made the night possible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vapor vote was talked about on the news. They know who we are and what we're capable of. Don't let the media downplay you. Don't fall into the nonsense of your vote doesn't matter, because it's actually the only thing that actually does matter.
Yep.
Because the only way these people stay in power is by whoever pushes the most buttons on the other side. It matters.
And he says, who do vapors have a better chance of changing the mind of, Trump or Biden?
Trump.
Trump.
No matter, and listen, I have left my politics out of this completely. You can go through my post history. I keep my mouth shut and I don't deal with it. I don't do it. I keep it to myself. I bottle it up inside and just let it fester. Trump, 100%. Because if it was, this is me personally speaking, not personal politics, just me analyzing the situation as it is. Had it been any other president, I think we'd have been screwed. I do. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, and I'm sorry, but history proves me to be right. Okay? Because he didn't put us into this situation. No. Other presidents did. And I'm not naming them so we don't make this a political thing, because it's not. It is, but it's not. It's ambiguous. The point is that we said no, and he said, okay. So I go with lightning striking twice. I'm a big believer in that. And Sherwood said it best. I mean, think about it, right? How many times have we been in the death throes as an industry, in a community? How many times? And somehow, some way, we always manage to pull ourselves out of bullshit. And it's amazing. You know, it's also kind of a curse, right? Because you keep telling people this is the end, and it's not. You know, but it's not because things just sort of happen that way. It's because people put work in, you know. Yeah. And I'm not talking us. We're, you know, UVA is new. We got that win, and, you know, we helped out with some state stuff, but that was ultimately the orgs and the boots on the ground that did that. Okay. A lot of orgs put in a lot of work to make this place, this industry, this community to exist today. We would have been dead already. And people think that just because we aren't, that it's just not going to happen. Eventually, the bully is going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Except now we're punching them first.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of getting punched. I go in swinging. Everybody knows that. I said I'm taking the fight to them. And we are. And they don't like it. The ants did not know what to do with that. They had no idea. They thought the industry was divided and could never defend itself. And then all of a sudden there's a massive, 4,500 person rally on the steps, and they're in the news and they're like, oh shit. You know? We have that going for us.
Do you expect for us to see any of the ants there?
That's the beautiful thing about having a protest/rally in National Park. No, they can't. We have a permit, they don't. And they won't issue one to a counter protester because everybody has the constitutional right to speak their piece peacefully. So they can try it. It ain't going to end well for them. And we don't have to do nothing. I can go, problem, and that'll be it.
Yep.
Because I remember there were some kids walking across, and I was like, who could I send out as an ambassador? Elliot, he's well-spoken, completely forgetting he's probably the most terrifying-looking member of all of us. And he starts marching over, and the Park Service lady comes bombing across the park. Where are you going? He goes, just seeing if they're a counter protest, not looking to cause a problem. I'll handle that. You go over there. Okay. Way scarier than him, by the way.
Yeah.
So
we were standing in the back of the rally, and these 3 young ladies came up, and they were standing there, and I looked over and I said, hi. And they're just kind of like, hi, how are you? I said, how old are you ladies? They're, oh, we're 15 and 16. I said, okay, if you're going to be here, that's great, but you are underage. Please do not vape. If anyone offers you one, please turn it down. I would suggest for your safety that you stay back here away from everyone, but you are more than welcome to support us.
Yep.
And the girls just kind of looked at me. They're like, we'll just go. I'm like, okay, have a good one, bye. Like,
Couldn't handle that any better.
like you're welcome to be here, but turn down, because we as vapors, we're very bad about, hey, you should try this. I have no problem handing my mom to someone and being like, you should try this. This is really good.
And then you're in a massive crowd and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yeah, I rarely think I should ask how old you are first. Thankfully, most of the people I hand my mod to, I should say all the people I hand my mod to, are other vapors. So they are of legal age. But
Everybody that asks me my age, I'm like, oh, I'm flattered you asked. I'm 25.
Lightbear has a question.
Shoot.
Will the rally be addressing those lawmakers that want to halt sales of vaping products because of COVID?
Yes. Absolutely. I actually intend to touch on that when I'm speaking as well.
I personally believe that vaping is the reason why I haven't gotten COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my own belief. I'm not a doctor or scientist in any way. So
hold on there. Science has proven you're right. They do believe that nicotine suppresses the virus. There are several studies that claim that, and they're also peer-reviewed, nonpartisan studies. Of course, when you say it's a peer-reviewed, nonpartisan study to one of the anti-tobacco zealots because it says something contrary to what their doctrine is. Oh, it's biased. Big Tobacco paid for it. They didn't. No. Sorry.
I just like to make sure that I say that is my opinion and that I'm not a doctor or scientist, because I do not want anyone saying Kelly from Rescue said.
Ah, I see. See, I'm a consumer. I can say whatever the hell I want. Yeah. I love being able to do that.
I am a co-owner of a business, so I have to make sure that I throw in there that I am not in any way medically trained for those purposes. So,
I'm making that statement, though, because I read those studies front to back. Fascinating.
I read them too.
They're fascinating.
They are, and it's so funny because the studies in England are saying vaping is good for you, and vaping is a great thing, and then the exact opposite is said here in the U.S., and it just blows my mind, because how are English lungs that different from American lungs?
They develop slightly different.
Mm-hmm. They got a little more class.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
And it takes me back to the studies that our enemies are doing. You know what I mean? Look at what they prop up. Stanton Glantz, really? That man's had more retracted studies than any professional in his field.
Yeah.
The man claimed to have data from China that the U.S. government didn't have. Fascinating. You got that from China when they can't even get an accurate death count? Do go on. Tell me more, Dad.
Did he also walk up the hill both ways to school? Because I feel like that's the next story that's coming.
Yeah, it's listen. It's crazy because the science is on our side, so by and large, they've kind of given up on that. Now it's all propaganda. They know that if the PTMA doesn't kill us, for lack of the better words, federally, they're fucked. Because they know that everybody politically is tired of it. Because it doesn't directly affect them. So here's the elephant in the room. What happens after that? Well, this can go one of two ways. The part nobody wants to hear is that if we win, it's not over.
No.
Period. Then we fight the war of 1,000 fronts. In this case, really 50, but technically, if you want to add local municipalities, God knows how many fronts. Death by 1,000 cuts. We're going to have to literally fight for every piece of property we own and give nothing. Literally nothing. The only thing that I'm hardcore taxation is theft. I've always been that way, and Sherwin hates that about me. But over the years, I've learned to listen from his experience because the man wins. When someone wins, you listen, Yeah. And he said that, if you can get a reasonable tax on it, you can use it as a shield because you're added to the tobacco revenue. And once you've got them on that tax teat, they don't want to let go. So they ain't going to ban you. Unless you're New Jersey, then they'll shoot their left foot off and then shoot the right one off to make them level. That's what New Jersey does. But outside of that, he's been proven right. Time has proven the man right. So outside of that, I would say no to literally everything and anything at all times. And I'm not talking about no 80% tax on hardware either. That's absurd.
Yeah.
I'm talking reasonable, sustainable, barely even noticed, but states making money kind of tax. then you're safe. Think about it. Once they start, that's why cigarettes are safe, because they make a fortune on it. It's all boiling down to this now. It's no longer about public health. It's up for sale. They want this. We give them this, they leave us alone.
But then,
unless they think that tobacco is more financially expedient, then we have a problem. So you got to do it right. It's all about how you do it.
but if they put us in with the tobacco tax bracket, wouldn't we be then contributing to the MSA?
No. Mm-mm. The MSA is a binding legal agreement with select tobacco companies. Not all of them are actually in it.
Okay.
Now, would our own MSA protect us? Debatable, because it would also put us in a price point bracket where it would also alienate a lot of consumers and make smoking look more appealing. You don't want that either. You got to find that balance, you know?
Yeah.
The government's like, money, consumers are going, it didn't hurt that bad. You know, got to find that delicate balance, you know? The unfortunate side of that would be that, you know, something even across the board, like a flat tax, would also screw up your, you know, $6.60 mills. How unfortunate.
Darn.
You know? Oh, well, I'm sorry that happened, but, you know, the industry needs to exist. You know?
Yeah.
I'm a cold logic guy, and people hate me for it, and that's okay.
I mean, that's all you can be, honestly. In a situation like this, we need more people to say, this is what we need to do, instead of, well, you could do this, or you could do that, or you could do a third option. Like, I know where I'm at. I need someone to say, this is the best option, because
Correct.
I'm already thinking of all the what ifs, you know.
I don't need that. I need this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what makes the regulatory environment they've put the vapor industry in such a bad place. Because there's like 15,000 different avenues being attacked right now, and none of them are really working.
Right.
You know, because it's so confusing. I mean, you shouldn't need a 30-man legal team to decipher it.
Right.
You know, yet again, small mom and pop businesses that did not know that when they got into it and put their life savings into it. Oh, you mean I need 6 different consultants to survive? Great, thanks.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? How is that an open market? How is that free trade? It's not.
Yeah,
No.
I've been struggling with the PMTA stuff, and I'll read it, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna cry, because that's where I'm at with it. Like, just gonna sit here and cry for a little bit, guys. Don't mind me. I'll get back to it in a minute.
I turn to the boys because they understand all that.
Yeah.
I'm a strategist. I'm not one of those kind of guys. I can't sit there and read 300. You know, like to read through the deeming regs for me was torture. I can't read all that. I can read if it's a book, I can read that. But that much legal document, nah. Nah, you don't want me reading that. It just makes me angry. By the end of it, I was so upset. My wife says to me, she goes, "Why are you so angry?" I said, "I consider myself above average intelligence. I am having a hard time understanding this. You know what I read like? You know what's the perfect analogy for this? Remember those Goosebump books back in the day when it was pick your own adventure? If you did this, turn to page 36. If you did this, turn to page 211.
Yes.
But 215 would contradict 211.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yes.
It was like DC Comics wrote it and then decided to retcon it halfway through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Serious.
There are a couple paragraphs where they start off with like, we're in 2-4 and now, and it's like, I don't know what those words mean like that. Like,
ye old English does not need to be in today's legal documents. Stop it.
I understand all those words independently, but not.
But when you chain them together,
it doesn't make sense.
who are you talking to exactly?
Like,
You know, I don't get it. I'm sure it makes sense to lawyers, but not everybody's going to hire one to file something that's supposed to be standard process according to the FDA.
and not everyone can afford to hire one.
Exactly.
Like,
And that's the problem. That's my biggest complaint in all this is nobody's complaining about having to file. Everybody gets that. It's this. That's the problem. You've made the price point of it so exorbitantly high that only big dogs can come to the field and play. Well, how has that worked out for us in that industry so far?
yeah.
You know, look at how
Reasonably
cigarettes turned
priced
out.
For the little guys like us, I'd be on it in a heartbeat. But I mean, we're one of the little guys. We can't afford, $500,000 per SKU. Like, that's not going to be a thing.
Here's the other part. right? So let's remove small business from the equation for a second, and let's talk about what the future would be for consumers. Do you really think that the companies that spent an exorbitant amount of money to process this application are going to be giving away cheap product?
Yeah, they're gonna have to make it back.
Yeah,
Got to make their money back somehow, and
that's the name of the game.
They can afford to jack up the prices then, because the little guys are out of the question.
Precisely.
Instead of paying the standard $20 to $25 for a 60 mil, you're going to be paying 40 or 50 because they got to make their money back, and the little guys don't count anymore.
And you also have to take into account that's just what you're looking at as far as like federal cost and overhead for the industry, for the businesses to recoup what they lost. Then you're going to have to look at what the states are going to do to us. So that's the nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
That nobody wants.
Yeah, I mean,
no one.
West Virginia was trying to pass a $1 per mil tax.
That would make you 30 mil if it was free, $30. For those of you who struggle with math like me, I did this earlier.
Yeah, that means 160 mil like this is $60
yeah.
to start.
Think about the 100 mils.
Yeah.
And that's not, And then they went, oh, shit, that's stupid. And then they took it off. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. And then it disappeared. But yeah, like, the goal is to get them to understand that vaping is not the bad thing. That's not the issue.
Well, not only that, you listen to this. So I remember I was talking to Mark Anton from SFATA a while ago. And, he's like, I'm just trying to find, this mill-size bottle and that one and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why? He goes, so I can explain to them how, volumetric taxes work. That took me aback for a minute. I said, explain. I said, well, I'm not quite sure they understand the concept. He was right. They didn't know. Legislators had no idea what they were doing. That blew my mind. I was genuinely flabbergasted. I said, wait, so you mean to tell me that they walked into a room and said, we'll put 50 cents a mill on it. Everybody was like, yeah, sounds good. That's great. I said, yeah, pretty much. Why don't I run for office? I could do that. I could just go, send it. Is it going to be all right? I don't know. Said I
figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Checks in the mail.
To know, legally, will stores be required to stop selling on September 10th for all companies with unaccepted PMTAs?
Here's the thing. Legally, more than likely. Long-term thing, who's actually going to come out and enforce it?
Is there going to be a way to prove who filed for a PMTA?
There will be paperwork. Companies should be able to provide that, yes. But there's multiple things going on. What I would do personally is I would get in contact with your state org and talk to them and ask them, what's the plan? And that right now, particularly right now, I know things are tough, but now is a good time to become a member, because that's the answers that they will have based on your state. Because who knows, the state could turn around and go, screw the federal government. We ain't banning nothing. What are you going to do? Tell them no? You're going to go as a business, you're going to go, oh, hell yeah. Anything's possible. So that's why I'm saying I would be in touch with them. That's the best thing you can do. Because if we win, when the war comes back around to locally for you, you'll be prepared and you'll be in and you'll already know what's going on because you'll be in that information chain.
Yes.
That's what I would do. Because my answer may not be correct. Their answer will be correct. And I don't want to give you the wrong information.
Yeah, and like you said, this is the perfect time to sign up. If you're not already on the mailing list for CASAA, just sign up. If you're, if there's a BTA group that you can be a part of, then do it. Go for it.
Even if it's not. Any state organization is good. Any organizational thing in your state is good. If you don't have one, start one.
Yeah.
It's never too late. Never too late to fight for your rights. Ever. Until it literally is too late. Then that's, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And that'll be when they say all vaping is illegal.
Mm-hmm. Little late. Government ain't gonna give it back. Sorry.
Yeah.
They never do. Never. Well, I can't even really say that because didn't something happen in Cali with 50 round mags where they were like, all right, you can have those back now.
Yeah. Well,
Cali of all places, right?
The vaping prohibition reminds me a lot of what you read in textbooks about the alcohol prohibition.
You ain't kidding.
Say, this is bad thing, take it away. And then they're going to realize the uproar that it's causing and the injuries that it's causing. And they're going to go, okay, fine, you can have it back, but You know, it's
And then
like,
we'll go, no buts. We're not negotiating. Give it back.
yeah.
But here's the problem. Here's the difference. Alcohol, difficult to make, right? You need a distillery, all kinds of stuff to make things happen, right? Vaping, you just need a table and some stuff, and you're in. You could literally set up shop right here, right now. You know, you guys know.
Oh, yeah.
This is not rocket science. It's not. It is. It's chemistry, but it's not. But it is. But it's not. You know.
Yeah.
There are plenty informational videos out there on multiple platforms on how to mix.
Mm-hmm.
None of the products alone, you know, separated, are being banned. So what's to stop that from happening? They don't understand that.
Right.
You know, and I told New Jersey straight up, you were going to create a black market like you've never seen. So they did. Now they're going, where's the money? Oh, too late for that. Oh, what about ID checks? The people on the black market don't care. I don't know if you realize that there isn't a sign that says black market here, present ID at door. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's, here you go, money's good. You did this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's actually, you know, here's how insane is it that people are trying to stop something from happening that would actually make them more money.
Right.
Taxes? Pfft. Overhead? Nah. Product? I could charge what I want. Go buy it somewhere else. Oh, wait, you can't.
I mean, I can say safely, for my years of having been a drug addict, not once did my dealer ever go, let me see your ID, you know, or are you old enough? Do your parents know? Like,
No, I'll take it even better than that. They ain't gonna negotiate price. There ain't no sale time. This is black market time. You're paying premium because they're taking a risk. Good
And
luck with that.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody that's saying, "Oh, I'll just mix. I'll be fine. I'll DIY." Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. You're a selfish asshole. It's not about you. It's about the smokers who have yet to convert. You say, "Well, then they should have converted earlier." Have you watched the news? Do you not see what they've done to the not just the industry, but the product's reputation?
Yeah.
People like listen, there are people right now, okay, in New Jersey where we are flattening the curve and all that happy shit, that are terrified to walk outside because the news told them that the coronavirus is coming to get them.
Yeah.
And they're mortified. I mean mortified of going outside. Okay. Same people deserve the same chance to quit smoking that you had.
Yeah.
It's that
I
simple.
converted a young lady yesterday. So congratulations, Ashley Adams, for starting that new part of your life. She's weaning herself off of cigarettes. She's cut out 5 cigarettes a day so far. So she's super stoked. She's chosen a hazelnut tobacco flavor on a Caliburn, and she's in love with it. And I'm so excited for her. So I mean, it's not just the people that didn't convert before because they weren't ready yet. You know, she was ready yesterday. What happens if she was ready next year? You know, is she not? Is it just too bad, so sad?
Exactly. And not even that. Let's think about this long term, right? Greg Gutfield actually said it best. You know, he's a smug bastard, but he drops some words of wisdom sometimes that make me go, yeah, I'm going to use that. What if this was around 50 years ago? How many more of our loved ones would be here? How many more of our friends would be here? How many less people would have died needlessly, painfully, slowly than have in the past?
How many
now,
of us would have never started smoking?
Exactly. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be 60 years old dropping that line. I don't. Because I know exactly how many people smoking kills per second. Okay? I know. I did the math. You all saw that. Okay? I'm not going to sit there and let that happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with me. I'm a pretty evil guy. Like, I will do some terrible things to protect the industry and against our enemies, too. And I feel good about it. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't sit well with me. And the thing that disturbs me the most is that our government condones it and then at the same time condemns it because they're getting the money. But then at the same time, they're like, oh, we got to look like we care about the health. Smoking bad. Please keep buying cigarettes. We need the tax money.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that double talk. I don't like it. I don't like it.
There was someone who said, you know, there's 1,300 people that die a day from cigarettes, and they equated it to an average high school. Which one of those kids in the high school are you okay with dying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to pick one every day to die. Which one are you okay with?
I know, like, well, it's not that. No, it really is.
Same thing. It's like it really
it is.
You know.
And it also affects the people around them too, because no matter where you stand on secondhand smoke, I don't really care. So let's use their own number against them. So that's that person and the people in the household if they smoke inside.
Yeah, that whole family is just gone. Which family were you okay with just not existing anymore?
Yep. And if it's the breadwinner, gets cancer and dies, you gonna be okay with supporting that person in that group? I don't think so.
Yeah.
This is a major public health issue. It's not about the self. It's about everybody else. Because it was never about me. I mean, I'm good. I'll be fine. I don't need to do this. I do it because I give a damn.
Yeah. I mean,
if I didn't, trust me, I would not be doing this. This is very stressful.
I mean, we joke that if something were to happen and you can't go buy vape stuff ever again, we're good. I mean, I don't know if you can see the cabinets behind Nick, but
I can.
We have plenty of vape liquid to last us for a very long time.
If you need something, Tristan, let me know.
Appreciate you.
But that's not the point. The point is just because we're set doesn't mean the person across the street is set.
And they can't. I don't understand that. It's such an alien concept to people. I don't get it. Why is that so wild to think that people actually care about other people? And it's totally normal to do that. That's why we exist as a society, because humans came together and said, humans do more things better together. We make grain. And here we are. Millions of years later, massive society, taking care of one another. Why is that such an alien concept? Oh, I know why. Because it means you have to step outside of your comfort zone. Well, I live outside of mine, with the exception of what I'm sitting in. Outside of that, yeah, I'm personally always out of it.
I know, that chair looks amazing. I've been
staring at it. I got 5 herniated discs, man. I'm done with computer chairs for now. Yeah, once you get the 5th, time to tap out.
Nick's thinking, how can I fit one of those in here?
You'd be surprised, man. They got some nice ones that are small that are just as comfortable. I'm just big. My chair makes me look small.
I have 3 ruptured, 3 herniated, and 2 slip discs.
It's slimming.
He's like, I'm going to get one of those.
I highly recommend it. But, that's, at the end of the day, it's really about doing this for somebody else. What if you lost someone to smoking? Wouldn't you not like to go through that again? I know I would.
I lost my grandma to smoking. And I still smoked for many years after she died. Many years.
Mm-hmm. It was almost an act of defiance, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I started smoking because what are they going to do? Send me to another foster home? I was already in foster care.
Try me.
Like, I didn't care.
I used to see the Truth commercials, and as soon as I'd hear it coming, I'd be like, oh, yeah, this is my moment.
Yep.
It had the counter effect. And it's like they know it.
People used to come up to me when I would smoke outside of work and go, that'll kill you. I'll go, not as fast as you telling me it will.
Oh, nice. And I'd tell people, oh, thank God, I thought I was going to live forever.
Yeah. Oh. And people just automatically look at you like, you're
okay there, hostile.
Like, do you know how many times a day I hear that's bad for you? I know. I don't care. Like,
yeah. Another one I'd hit him with was, that's bad for you. So I was talking to strangers.
Yeah.
I got yelled at by my friends for that so many times. Stop picking fights. No.
Right? I used to be that person that'd be like, cigarettes will kill you, and I'd be like, I should smoke another one so I can get there faster. Like, or I'd say, you want a race?
Oh, it's a race now. Yeah.
Look at you and go, what?
Now we look back on it and we're like, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I look back on the years of smoking and I think about my kids. I have 4 kids, and now I'm going back to when they were in elementary school, and I'm like, they were the stinky kids. They were the kids that the other parents didn't want to invite to birthday parties because they smelled like ass. That's horrible. Why did my kids have to punish because I had an addiction? That's not fair. And
true.
Now I don't vape around my kids. I vape outside. Like, I try to do what I can so that way they're not in the crossfire. I know there's no such thing as secondhand vape, but I'm still trying to be a responsible parent. Nick and I have argued about whether or not it's safe, and not so much arguing because he's saying it's not safe and I'm saying it's safe. More like he's saying you can vape around the kids. It's okay. And I'm going, I don't want to. Like,
want to lead by example.
Yeah.
And I think really as a community, that's something that, Dimitri was screaming that for years. And, and I was always like, no, but he's right. He's right. We got to lead by example. Everybody needs to lead by example. And I hate saying he's right. Not because I don't like him. I love him. But I hate saying somebody's right when they were right years ago. And he was. He was ahead of his time. It's true. He was way ahead of his time. And he got hated for it. But he's still here. If anybody has a right to be bitter, he's one of them. But he's still here. He's coming to that, putting life and limb on the line because, as handsome as he is of the older generation. But he doesn't care. He's fucking going. That's dedication to the cause. Yeah. I respect that immensely. Even if I didn't like him, I respect him. But I do. I do. And I mean, look at what happens when consumers and the industry and the advocacy groups all come together. We're a really big fist to bring down on someone's face. Big. Yeah. They don't know what to do with that amount of power. There is so many vapors out there. It's disgusting. And the most saddest part of it all is, who the larger bracket is? The older folks. You know what they don't do? Social media. That's why vape shops are like the forefront of this. Because you say to, somebody in that 65, 70 bracket, government's taken away, they get fucking pissed.
Oh, yeah.
They get pissed.
Like the guys that were in Vietnam, they're like, hey, I did not go over there and bury my buddies so that way you could take something away from me.
Mm-hmm. Mind you, also, funny you say that. A lot of the guys in the military are super, super active in the vape community and very dedicated to the personal freedom aspect, which a lot of people are afraid to touch. I don't understand that. I didn't serve, but I know a lot of guys that did, and that is like their thing, because smoking was acceptable. You either did PT or you had a cigarette.
Yeah.
What?
They would send out cigarettes in rations.
Yeah. So they come out with a habit they didn't come in with.
Yeah.
Now they got it forever. And now they finally shake it and the government is again taking it all away.
Yeah.
And so that makes me mad.
If you go into your vape shop in the next week or two, ask them, are you guys going to the rally? And if they don't know about the rally, send them a link to the UVA, show them the website, be like, this is the rally. Can we print something up and put it in the window? Like, get all the shops on it, because even if they can't go, one of their consumers might be able to.
Yep. Also, we'll be hosting multiple live streams. We'll have a main one. Lane's handling that. We have nothing to worry about. If you've seen the setup he's bringing, it's glorious. And, have them share the live feed, have them stream it in the shop so people at least understand how serious things are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I cannot stress that enough. I can't. I'm not a panic person. I don't believe in motivating people through fear. Only doing the right thing through fear. But getting people to get off their ass and fight for themselves, there's nothing to be gained from fear. There's enough fear. Like we were talking about earlier, the industry's been at the death door how many times? We don't need fear now. We need anger. Constructive anger. Not my kind of anger. I leave that at home when I go there. Until I get on stage. But seriously, you should be mad. It's completely rational to be mad right now. It's the appropriate response. Unrational anger is not the appropriate response. Rational anger is the appropriate response. These people work for you. So if anybody has a shop that is not aware of what's going on, doesn't know how to help, my inbox is always open. I got a phone with a 2-day battery life just for this occasion. Please send them to me. It's fine. I answer literally everyone. Unless they message me and call me an asshole, then I don't message them for their own good.
But that also ties into whatever you wear to the rally, make sure it's appropriate. Please don't wear anything that's like death to the president or anything.
Yeah, don't be that guy. Also, as glorious as fuck the FDA is, don't do that there either. Let's not make everybody really mad because we're trying to get them to come to the table and sit down and listen.
I would suggest keep it PG. So that means ladies, keep your tits in your shirt, please.
I mean, yeah. I'm not going to comment on it because,
it's going to be... If you're going to wear
a
tank top, make sure that you can keep the girls covered.
Sure.
Be appropriate. I mean, I know that the guys probably won't care, but we need to be respectful.
That's true. Professional as possible.
You don't have to wear a business suit or anything. You can wear a t-shirt.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I am wearing my string bikini to the event. I don't care what anybody says. It's happening.
I got the ones.
That's right.
Can we set up a Tristan in a bikini fund for like,
You couldn't raise enough money. That would hurt people.
If we donate a bunch of money and we raise,
you would be blinding people. Stop it.
If we raised like $1 million for the UVA,
it would be better. No, I wouldn't take it. There are other orgs doing bigger things that need funds right now. I wouldn't take it. We don't need it. We don't. We're actually that's one of the few things we are actually genuinely good on. So if anybody was worried about things we did very well, we're okay. There are other orgs out there that are suffering right now. CASAA is one of them.
Yeah.
A little money their way always helps.
Prohibition. So shout out to Joey and Colin and Nick. They're great guys. They did a thing where if you donated to CASAA, you were entered in to win liquid. All you had to do was drop a screenshot. That's awesome. I love it. Like, I might have to steal the idea because that was stellar.
Yep, that was the old OG way we used to do things. Donate to the org, post a screenshot, and you got your entries. I love those guys.
Yeah,
I love them.
That was beautiful, and I couldn't have been more excited to say I know those guys. They're my friends.
I remember when they debuted their line. It was on my channel. It wasn't really one of those things, But one of my buddies said, "No, listen, you really need to talk to these guys. They actually give a shit, and they still to this day do.
Yeah,
they do. I got nothing but love for them. Every time I see them, it's like
my favorite thing. I'm going to give Joey a hug. I know we're supposed to social distance, but I'm giving him a hug.
You can't help it.
No.
At this point with his personality, I'm pretty sure he's untouchable. He's immortal.
Joey is like my big brother, who every time I see him, I just have to give him a hug because
he makes me laugh. Do you know how hard that is to do? To make me like really laugh hysterically? It's pretty hard.
He would be your big sister. He was your bridesmaid.
He was my maid of honor.
He was your maid of honor.
I rest my case. I would have lost it if I was at that wedding.
You were.
Lost it.
You were. Vapors Carnival, North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. I was. Holy shit. I remember now. See, that's the problem with drinking so much in your earlier years in life. It stunts your memory. I do remember. You're right. I was there.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I had the whole Prohibition team walk her down.
And Weber got married too at one of the events too, right? What one was that? Was that North?
That was another Vapors Carnival a couple years before.
Yeah.
Man, what a wild ride this has all been.
Yeah, and Nick picked surprising me with a wedding at the Vapors Carnival because we had planned a wedding and had to postpone it so many times because our family sucks. I said I was like, you know what? I'm done planning it. I don't care. I'll marry you whenever, wherever. Just tell me where to be.
So I figured, why not better than the Vape family?
Yeah.
The Vape family has been more of a family than my family, and I'm more pumped than ever about this rally. Like, I love the fact that Anthony made our thumbnail, and it's as goofy as it is, and I love that everyone in this community is like, let's do this, let's go, and it's like, all right, now tell all your friends the same thing you're telling me. Like, let's do this.
And then the wonderful thing about the community, that's exactly what I'm saying. Once it's in, it's in. It's happening. And it's going to be great.
It's really hard to get kicked out of the vape community. You have to do something really stupid. Like,
yes. Very stupid.
Really stupid. As long as you're, somewhat mature, like, you're in. You're good. And I'm not even saying mature as in, like, old man-ish, like, as marketing aspect mature. That's really it. You could have a mod made it to look like a penis, and everyone there would be like, that's awesome.
Yeah, there actually is one. It's a wood one. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I said, I wonder if there's this thing. I Googled it. Thing. Couldn't believe it. But the most important thing to take away from this is that at the end of the day, we either drown together or we float together. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The whole community goes with it, or it doesn't. And the only person that's really in charge of that is us.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to say the government's in charge and this is in charge. No. We're in charge. We're the one who pushed the ballot button. Fill out the form. Show up to vote. We're in charge. And the second that you forget that is when they're in charge. You can never forget that. And anybody that tries to tell you that it doesn't matter, has not been paying very close attention, and they're just trying to be edgy. It does. It absolutely matters. Look how split numerous elections have been where there was fighting over that one vote.
Mm-hmm.
It matters. You know, it's the easy thing to say it doesn't matter. It's the feel good thing to say, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're screwed. That's why we're screwed. Because people believe it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It matters. You control your own fate. If everybody that said, for example, everybody in the country who said they were an independent voted independent, we would have a fully formed third party.
Yep.
But because they don't, they put it on there to be cool and then vote for one of the two big ones. We always get one of the two big ones.
Yeah, because everyone says, well, voting for a third party won't matter.
Then why did you register as one then?
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter, well, you're just trying to be cool? That's why the independent party keeps going, what is happening? There are so many of you. Why?
Yeah. I mean, I say the same thing about the animal thing. I say, I hear all the time, if I could take that dog, I would. Okay, well, how about you just donate $1 to a shelter? Just $1 or a bag of dog food, whatever. Just donate something to a shelter.
Anything.
And I bet you would make a difference in that animal's life. But no one ever takes me up on it,
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that we can do as citizens that people don't realize. This is our time to make a difference, to stand up, to be accounted for, to be the master of our own destiny. This is our chance, and it's not going to come again. And if it does, I will be amazed. But
it's not.
This is
flat out.
This is a big one. This is not. I mean, this is 4 days before the deadline.
Think about it. The government does not give control; it takes it. That's the thing about power. It's never given to you. You take power. They're not going to give it to you. They're not going to go, well, maybe we should see what the people sitting at home and doing nothing think. Said no politician ever. Ever. Yeah, they're terrified of the silent majority, but the silent majority just goes with the flow. It's true. They go with however they're feeling at the moment when they go in and press the button. Now, of course, that term has changed dramatically recently, but by and large, that's who they were scared of. Now they're scared of the very vocal minority. And we could be that.
I don't think people realize that this is starting off with vaping, but then what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to start regulating alcohol more? Are they going to come after regular cigarettes and say, no, you can only smoke this brand?
CBD will be next. Guaranteed.
So everyone
Guaranteed.
who uses CBD to help them so they don't have to take pharmaceuticals, it's coming. This is your chance. You need to, I mean, even if you don't vape and you don't smoke, you can still show up and support.
And I mean, they really don't give it back. People think, oh, we'll figure it out, and then they'll be, no. They won't give the control back to you. They won't. Because that's what government does. It grows. That's what all things of power do. They grow. Everything wants to fold everything into its own dominion. I'm sorry, we're gonna keep what's ours. Thanks. And that's really the message. We vape, we vote, and we're not going to allow somebody to exterminate us to stay in power. It's that simple. And they need to be reminded of that, and that's what the mission is. First and foremost, the ask is also glorious. If we get the ask too, that's a sweet victory right there. But doesn't end the fight either. It's a punch in the opening volley in a boxing match, if you catch my drift. We're hitting them with the 1-2 combo, but that's not going to end it.
Yeah.
We got 10 rounds. I want my 10 rounds.
Yeah. So show up.
Yeah.
Accounted for.
Show up.
We'll be
Because,
there.
I mean, think about it. There's no more conventions. This is the last expo to go to. Catch my drift. This is it. Come see your friends. Even if you're not there to do the whole political thing, go see your friends.
Yeah. This could, for all intents and purposes, be the last ever vape convention, rally, get together. As
Ever.
much as that sucks, this could be it. This might be the last time where all your friends are going to be in the same spot at the same time. And if that's what it takes for you to show up, then show up.
Precisely.
But it is getting to 11, so we should be ending this.
Indeed. I am starving.
Same here.
I never stopped to eat today.
Me neither. I'm a fat kid.
My day started with a call with NPS at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I've been running since.
I've been doing a demo all morning since 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
I've been crying about the PMTAs.
We've all done our own thing.
Yeah.
So, Tristan, do you have any shout outs you want to give? Any tags, like your site, your YouTube shows?
No, it's all about the rally right now. Just the website, UnitedVaporsAlliance.org. If you have any questions, just feel free to holler to me. Anybody that messages me knows I usually respond within the first 5 minutes.
The links are in the description for the actual website and the Facebook page. So if you need to get a hold of them, those are great ways to get a hold of them. And I'm sure you can find Tristan on Facebook. You know,
Look at this beard. It's easily identifiable.
it's really hard to miss him.
All right, so from all of us here at Rescued Reviews, we love you, we like you, and we look forward to seeing you all at the rally. Y'all have a great night and a good week. We're done.
Yay.
Yay.